Today we're going to be making another Belizean sweet treat, rice pudding. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. I'm going to do half the recipe that I have in the book because not many people in my family like rice pudding and I don't want it to go to waste, all right? So it calls for 1 cup of rice. I'm going to do half a cup. And all I'm doing here is washing this rice. I'm going to throw this water off. And then in this big pot, you want a big pot because you want to put a lot of water to let this rice boil into nothingness. That's what I call it. It's got to be so soft. So I want a big pot like this. So let me get my rice washed, put it in this pot and fill it with water. And let's get the first leg of rice pudding started. So I have it on the stove. If you hear some crunching noises, that's Willow eating. Anyways, I wanted to show you from this angle because I want you to see how high my flames are under the pot. So we're actually going to be boiling this rice, okay? We're not going to play any games with this, boil it. In the meanwhile, let me go ahead and collect all the other ingredients that we're going to need to make this awesome rice pudding. Okay, so remember I told you there's nothing at all hard to make in rice pudding. I've got a big bowl that we're going to put all the batter in, and we're halving the recipe that I have in the book. So instead of 1 cup of sugar, we're going to do half cup. Instead of 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk, we're going to do 1 can. Instead of 3 cans of evaporated, we're going to do 1.5. I had this half a can in the fridge already. Instead of 6 eggs, we're going to do 3. And by the way, if you were doing the whole recipe, you could get away with 5 eggs too, and it would still come out awesome. And this one, we're going to be very careful with our extract. We're not going to do vanilla. Remember I told you guys before that when it comes to extract, if you kind of mix it up, you can surprise your guests, right? We're going to do lemon extract for this one. So this is going to take a while because we want the rice to cook. I call it almost to oblivion, but it's not truly oblivion. But we don't want the rice grains to cook like if we're eating rice for dinner, okay? I've eaten some rice pudding that's like that, and let me tell you, it's not nice. So these are all that we're going to need. And I'm going to go ahead and get them in this bowl as we wait for our rice to cook, all right? So remember I told you it's always easier to add more water to the rice than to subtract water. So all that water that we had, within a half hour, it got boiled out. I poured just about 2 cups in there, by the way. It got boiled out of the rice, but it's still not done, all right? See? The grains are still, you can still visibly see the grains. So we want it to go more, so let me pour the rest of that to make the 2 full cups. And I think I'm going to put another 2 cups in there. And remember, this is right at the halfway mark. Well, not halfway mark. This is at the half-hour mark, I should say. So I put 4 cups of water. I don't want to put too much more because I still want to continue monitoring this. So let's recap. We started off with the water a little bit less than half in this big pot. Within a half hour, it boiled to where you saw it just now. And I put 4 cups of water in it because I want to cook it even more. I think the best description I could come up with that the way this rice is going to look when it's ready for the rest of the ingredients is that it's going to look like tapioca. So this is all we do. I cracked the 3 eggs and I kind of whipped it with this whisk here. Let me get my bowl again. And we're going to be pouring our evaporated milk. Here's the other one. Love these pop-top things right here. So this is the batter part of the rice pudding. Like I said, the longest part when you're making rice pudding is to actually cook the grains of rice. So here's our condensed milk. You notice a recipe is not considered Belizean unless it's made with condensed milk. I just made up that rule, okay? But truly, guys, when I was little, all the recipes are made with sweetened condensed milk, all right? So here we go. You can replace this half a cup of sugar with more sweetened condensed milk if that's what you choose to do. We want to add our eggs into this. And just kind of get this blended really well. You can use a hand mixer, like the one that was on my giveaway for January, to do this too, but you don't want to blend it too much, okay? You don't want to mix it too much. And put a little bit of lemon extract in there. That's like 1/4 teaspoon. All you want to do is just mix this well. And this is all we're going to pour over that rice after it's done cooking. And then we're going to allow it to bake for some time. Now in my recipe book, it says to boil that rice for 2 hours. But that's like a cup of rice. I don't know how much the half cup will take. I'll let you know. It's going for a while now. I'll let you know how long I boiled it for. And I'll also let you know how long I bake it for, okay? It's smelling good. I like when we're making these type of batters because it starts smelling good from before it even gets to the pudding. Anyways, I'll be back when the rice is ready. And I'll keep monitoring the rice and show you how it's supposed to look too. Take a look, guys, see? It's so mushy. See, like I told you, like tapioca, it's right about an hour. I think it went way less because of the fact we had so much water. We're cooking it on high, and also we have less rice. So this rice is actually ready. We're gonna get a baking, like a Pyrex dish or something, and we're gonna put the batter with the rice. Okay, let me go ahead and shut the stove off. We're gonna move to the counter to do the rest of the pudding. So I'm adding the rice. I'm not throwing out any of the water, okay? I'm adding the rice to the batter. Let me get it up off the bottom of the pot. I think I have it all. And all I'm doing right here is mixing it in well with the batter. And I found a Pyrex dish. I hope this one's not too small. I know the bigger 9x13 is going to be too big, but I hope this one's not too small. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to change it to another size up because I think this is going to be too small, all right? Give me a minute. So here we go. I got a bigger one. I got one of these Pauladine dishes. Just going to pour it in this. Yeah, that one would have been way too small. I didn't eyeball it too good at all, huh? So just kind of get it cleaned out really, really well. And it's ready for the oven. 350-degree Fahrenheit. I don't know how long it's going to go. We're going to monitor. When it's the bigger one, it goes like an hour and a half. So let's see how long it takes to do this one, okay? So here we have the finished product. It actually went for 1 hour and 20 minutes. And this is like a 9x9 baking dish. So it really needs a little bit of time to cook. Look how goldeny and beautiful it looks. When it cools down, I'm going to show you guys the first slice, all right? So here we have the very first slice. Look how beautiful this is. Let's see if I can get it close to the camera, see? Gorgeous, gorgeous rice pudding, and it smells good too. So see how uncomplicated it was to make rice pudding. Very few ingredients, very sweet, very delectable, very good. I promise you that you're gonna love this if you try it. I've tried many rice puddings before where it seems like the rice wasn't just cooked long enough, had a nice flavor to it, but just didn't have the nice consistency. And for a long time, I didn't like rice pudding because of that reason. So after I learned how to make it and cook the rice, I call it to oblivion. It's not really to oblivion, but you really cook it till it's mushy. Then you add all the batter and all the other ingredients in it, let it cook for a little while in the oven. It's actually very, very good. I hope you guys try it. Tell me how it comes out. Thank you guys so much for liking the show, for sharing, for picking up the book, and for all your love and support. Until I see you again, take care.